Business news. The government is set to increase its purchase value for locally assembled goods in the coming financial year. According to the Financial Secretary in the State Department for Industrialization, Dr. Juma Mukhwana, this will encourage the local manufacturing industry. Now, at the same time, Dr. Mukhwana also assured manufacturers that the government will not lift taxation on imported products, especially those that can be manufactured locally, noting that this denies hundreds of youth employment opportunities. Let's get more from our very own Juma Mukhwana.
In the current financial year, the government has spent nearly 240 billion shillings on the acquisition of locally assembled products for key government agencies. According to the Principal Secretary in the State Department for Industrialization, Dr. Juma Mukhwana, the move is aimed at boosting the manufacturing sector through the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya initiative. However, to further encourage industrialization in the country and provide a ready market for locally manufactured goods, Dr. Mukhwana noted that the government will be seeking to increase its purchase of locally assembled goods from the current 40% threshold in the hope of trickling down the benefits of industrialization.
We want to work to scale this up. Also, if we scale up our manufacturing, but one of the things that you've heard me talking about is we also want factories that benefit everyone. Unfortunately, our model of industrialization is such that it is not trickling down to the poor people. And this is what we are saying. And we can do this through making sure that as industries, when we are buying raw materials, let's not push down the prices of commodities too low.
Speaking during the launch of the Manufacturing Priority Agenda, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers highlighted the high cost of electricity that remains a major pain point for the industry, calling on the Ministry of Energy to ensure a more affordable rate of 10 shillings per kilowatt hour.
How can we have a preferential tariff for manufacturers at 10 shillings per kilowatt per hour? And then how can we have the review of what is called the time of use tariff, so that we can have more users onboarded to do production at night.
We are telling you as a manufacturer, if you are using 16 shillings during the day, double your consumption and use at 8 shillings during the night. So when you average the cost of 16 and 8 shillings, comes to around 24 shillings. So if you have that cost, it means that your average monthly consumption cost will be about 12 shillings. So when you properly use the time of use tariff, you lower your cost of energy by a quarter.
In the priority agenda, the manufacturing sector has urged government to implement a pro-industry national tax policy that introduces a lower VAT rate for raw and intermediate products, revert investment deduction allowances to the previous provision of 100% for Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu, and 150 outside the cities of Mombasa, Nairobi and Kisumu. Ensure that plant and machinery be VAT exempted to reduce cost of investment, as well as reduce import declaration fee IDF rate from 2.5% to 1.5% for raw materials and intermediate inputs, and remove excise duty and export and investment promotion levy on raw materials and intermediate inputs, among others. According to the manufacturers, should the government be able to implement the recommendations in the Manufacturing Priority Agenda of 2024, this will enhance Kenya's competitiveness and move the country from a net importer to a net exporter. Juma Mukhwana, Citizen TV, Nairobi.